What's going on, everyone? It is Friday, and that means it is AEW time for two dudes with attitude. Scissor me, daddy.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Yeah, we're going the wrong way. It's because
I
the
know.
thing is it's
Yeah, I know.
backwards. Yeah, you gotta
Confusing.
like go like
Yeah,
stupid camera work.
I know.
I forgot what I'm saying. I'm Mr. MWO. And with me, as always, is the man of the hour, the producer himself, the king of all gingers. That includes Carrot Top, Mr.
Right.
Shooting
Suck it,
Star
Carrot Top.
Press. I mean, Carrot Top is like your, like maybe he's your like messiah. I don't know. I love Carrot Top. I see him all the time.
I think he's funny.
So
Yeah.
I hate that
But-
people hate him. Does that work? Can you hate something that hates? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, what's up, Shooting Star? How you doing?
No, living the dream, man. It's Friday. We had a solid week of pro wrestling. We got some big news with AEW. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. We're almost at 50 episodes. This is episode 44, so we're 3 weeks away from, assuming we keep on the same schedule, we're 3 weeks away from episode 50. So
well, let's do something. We got to plan something.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk about it. We'll do something.
Yeah, we got to
for
do
50.
something big. Assuming we, because we get feel like we bounce our schedule around worse than AEW Rampage. So
Yeah,
we gotta figure something out.
that's true.
But yeah.
All right, episode 50, I'll do it naked. Deal.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. That'll be good. That'll be good.
And NWO, naked wrestling opinion.
NW. Hey!
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, all right, let's get this party started. You ready?
Let's do it, man.
All
It's
right.
Friday.
All right. As always with AEW Friday, we start with a Rampage. Pretty soon we'll be starting with that. We won't have Rampage anymore, but
Yeah,
we'll get into
yeah.
that. So anyway, AEW Rampage, and it was an okay episode. I mean, they had things going on. Surf Strickland was there as always. And the other residents of Rampage, which I'm a little upset about, the Acclaimed,
AEF.
AEF. That's what they need to do,
Or
because they were
AES,
all about. I don't understand how you have your top act on your mediocre. That would be like Roman Reigns wrestling on Sunday Night Heat all the time. Like, I'm so confused on why you have the Acclaimed on Rampage only. Like, if you want them on Rampage to help with ratings, but you also put them on Dynamite, it makes sense. But they are like straight just on Rampage now. So I don't know if that's because they're going to be on this new show or I don't know. But anyway, number one, I wanted to talk about Max Caster's rap was fire. He made an awesome mustache reference to Vince McMahon. That's the first time ever I've appreciated a WWE reference on AEW, because it was pretty damn funny, because Vince McMahon's mustache was gross. And he had a whole bunch of other good lines. He was like knocking them out of the park. It was a really strong rap. It kind of felt like old school Acclaim. Like Acclaim's raps used to be very controversial. Then they got in trouble because they made fun of, I forget, it's that gymnast girl. Gosh, what was her name there? She was like big, and he said something about her.
Simone
Biles. Yeah, they said something
Biles?
about her, and then they followed it up with like another something about COVID, about like the shot being fake or not needing enough shot. I don't know. It was something, and Tony Khan was like, "Yo, y'all are suspended," and they were suspended forever.
Right.
And then they
came.
Yeah, remember? And then they came back and cut that like awesome thing where they're like, "Hi, we're the Acclaimed, and we're good guys, and we love people." And then after that, like they still do raps, but they've never been like as good as they used to be. Like if you go back to like the first 2 years of AEW, holy cow, they cut like good, like the raps were just really, really good. But it was not like that. It was very,
Drop some lines about the guy. They look like the guys that kidnapped the Michigan senator.
Yes.
Like,
it was.
Jeez.
That's what I mean. It was like old school again. It felt good. It felt good to have the Acclaim back. That's what they need. And they had Daddy Ass with them. But I want to talk about is that the fact that I think they are next for the trios titles. We have been discussing this. They're wrestling again tonight at like what time does Rampage come on? Like at 1 o'clock or something my time, or I don't know, 3:30 of my time. Yeah,
Celtics Heat game 2.
Yeah, I think it's on right now. I need to go, guys. I need to go watch Rampage. It's on at 3:30 Western Coast, like 6:30. Like who's like, you know what I should do right now at 6:30 on a Friday? Happy hour? Heck no. Let's watch some Rampage.
It's the lead-in for the NBA playoffs.
That's good. I mean, maybe it'll get ratings. I don't know. No, we'll see.
You want the NBA to be the lead-in for you.
That's not the other. Yeah.
One of their highest rated episodes ever was when the NCAA tournament was on, and it got like Rampage got bumped to whenever that it was like we'll be on Friday whenever the tournament is over. So they didn't even know what time it was going to be on, and it was one of their highest rated episodes ever. So you want the big sports to lead you in.
Well, that's what they've always done with like sitcoms and stuff, right? Like when Friends was huge and Seinfeld, you would have them at 8 and then have a show new or whatever at 8:30. So you like watch it after because everyone's watching that show. So you want to fade in. So yeah, it's good TV stuff. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I'm glad the Acclaimed are getting wins. They look strong. And the announcers actually brought up too that like, hey, I don't who's on it? Was it Taz? I don't know. But one of them said
JR
JR
and
is on Rampage.
Excalibur,
And
yeah.
yeah, one of them brought up the fact that like, ooh, the Acclaim versus the House of Black. That's like a good like opposites attract, which we discussed as well because they're always stealing our stuff. But I'm really getting excited for it. I like that they're like easing them in. They have another trios match now on Rampage tonight. Let's do it. I'm all for it. I thought this was the best part of Rampage because I do want to see the Acclaimed win some titles. I know House of Black probably shouldn't drop the titles yet, but that's an AEW thing where people can only be champ for a couple months. So we'll see. But you know, what do you think? The Acclaimed trios title, you think they're next? Are they, you know, they won the Battle Royal, they're wrestling only as trios now. Are you for it, or is Daddy Ass too old, or you want them to move on? What's your vibes?
Yeah. No, I'm for it. I think Billy Gunn can still go. He's proven week in and week out that he seems to be in the best shape of his life. I've never seen him in this great of shape. And yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, they're not going to beat FTR. They're not going to be in the tag team. They want Jared and Lethal. Jared and Lethal are going to win those tag titles. I have this feeling, but
stop. You said that with the Acclaim too.
I know, but like they will not leave the tag team title picture, and I feel like it's inevitable that they're going to win those titles. Maybe not right now, but eventually they will. But they want Jared and Lethal in the tag division. The Guns are still there. The Hardys are still there. The FTR is still there. So there's not really a place for the Acclaimed in the tag picture, which is crazy to think about because they were one of the best acts in the tag team division.
Still are.
So why not put them in the trios title? Why not put them in the trios hunt? I'm all for it. But I do wish, you know, I'm glad that the commentators brought it up and talked about House of Black, but I do wish the House of Black would have come out after the match or something, and we start the build. Because one of my least favorite things is, you know, Double or Nothing is next Saturday, so it's a week from tomorrow, and we still don't really know if this match is even happening at Double or Nothing or when it's happening, or is House of Black even wrestling at Double? We don't know. We have no idea, and I do wish that we would have had some answers on that. Maybe that's when you have afterwards Malachi Black attacks Max Caster, or they all attack Billy Gunn or something. Just do something to get us amped for this titles match that is coming up whenever the heck it is. Maybe it's not a Double or Nothing. Maybe they're just waiting.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Maybe they're just shooting their shot, but I wish it was at Double or Nothing. I think that the Acclaim deserves a high profile match at Double or Nothing. I think, House of Black deserves a big match at Double or Nothing. So, so I do wish that they would start the build to it. And we start, you know, because again, wrestling is fun when it has stories, and it feels like there's not really a story there. Just, oh, these guys won a battle royal, so we're going to wrestle you. But I want to see some intrigue. I want to have a reason to watch this match whenever it happens. And right now I don't feel like they're giving us that.
What do you think about their chemistry though? You think it's going to mix? You think the House of Black?
Oh yeah, I think it'll be great.
It's like literally polar opposites. Like one's like a comedy act, but they're great, and then one's like straight serious.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I think it'll be a little bit like when the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy went against House of Black, because Orange Cassidy's he's a mixed bag. He's a comedy gimmick, and but he's also serious. And I think some of the stuff he does is so like meh that it's kind of funny, and it leads to laughs, and some of the stuff, his antics and stuff, and they had a great match. I want to see more. I want to see more Orange Cassidy and Best Friends against House of Black, and I think the chemistry with the Acclaimed will be the same way. I think it's going to be. I think the chemistry they'll mesh really well. I want to see the promos. I want to see if
me too.
Do House of Black take on a more, you know, do they keep their seriousness? Does the Acclaim, do they go a little bit more serious? Do they bust raps on Malachi Black? I mean, there's so many things that they can do. especially Buddy Murphy. Do they bring up Rhea Ripley and
I
Mommy?
was gonna say
Yeah.
I want that so bad.
Yeah.
I think they will. I think they're gonna talk about how Dom Dom is getting a. They won't say it, but they're gonna talk about
Yeah.
something with your woman getting it and another.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I want it bad.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to imagine what the line's going to be. It's probably going to be like, um, I don't know. I don't.
But
But
will Buddy
something.
Murphy allow it? I feel like he's jealous of that like acting relationship, and now they're getting closer. They're holding hands. They don't ever kiss, which I think
Yeah.
is, and I think that's because of Buddy Murphy. Because like most wrestling couples, even though they're dating other people, they always have to kiss, right? Because you're a couple.
Yeah.
They've never kissed ever,
No.
and I wonder
Yeah.
if that's a Buddy Murphy. Like I wonder. We as human males, come on, man. If your wife was a
Oh
actress
yeah.
and she's doing a movie where she's getting it on with someone, are you gonna go watch it and enjoy it? Or are you gonna sit there the whole time like, yo, did you guys did you practice this? Like,
What
are
stellar
you
acting you did there.
still doing
Yeah.
yeah, man, it really looks like you're getting penetrated. Like, I don't know. It's like weird to like as actors, like you watch movies and you're like, oh, no big deal. Like
Yeah.
Ross and Rachel, they make out all the time, but although they had wives and girlfriends and husbands the entire time they were doing that. So it's always
I
a
know.
weird
It would be
thing.
weird. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so, right?
But I
So,
want to see him. I want to see the Acclaim go there
I
and
do.
make
I
it
do.
personal.
Yeah.
And you also have Zelina Vega and Malachi Black too. They're dating or they may be married. Bring them up.
Mhm.
Bring up everybody. Bring up all the
But
couples.
at least she's not hooking up with anyone. She's
Yeah,
not like
that's
with
true.
like Rey Mysterio. Oh, maybe she should. They're both the same
Yeah.
size. So oh no, Ray's
Raylina.
married. Yeah, that's right. They
Yeah. Oh
can't.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I do think the chemistry for this will be great, and I
Yeah.
want to see it. So, but make that. I'm ready for the build, and I hope it's not. I really, now that I think about it, I don't know if I want it at Double or Nothing now because it's way too soon.
Mhm.
And I hope it's not like a throwaway match that it's
Mhm.
going to open Double or Nothing, and they get 10 minutes and there's no
Mhm.
promos, there's no antics, there's nothing, and then the Acclaim lose and they're moving on to something else, and House of Black moves on to something else. I want to see some build for this because I think both teams deserve it.
I agree. All right. What's your one thing for Rampage, brother?
Speaking of tag teams, we had a promo from the Hardy Boys. They came out and they talked about their big win, and there was that Isaiah Cassidy going, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Gosh.
oh yeah." But
Ugh.
the Hardy Boys talked about how they're next and they're going to win the tag team titles, and now that they've been deleted, they deleted the firm, and his contract with Matt Hardy's contract with the firm is deleted. They can now move on to the tag team titles in AEW, and then that brought out the Guns, and I thought the Guns had some solid points. He said
Mhm.
one of them, Austin or Colton, I don't know which one's which, but they said,
Tall or short?
yeah, I think it was the shorter one.
Yeah, he talks
Um,
the most. Yeah.
yeah, he said that the Acclaim got their rematch and FTR got their rematch, and all these other tag teams that lost got their rematch. Swerve and Our Glory got their rematch
Mhm.
when they lost. Where's our rematch? And you know, I kind of see their point because that was what I wrote in my notes is what are we doing with the Guns? You took the
Mhm.
tag team titles off the Acclaimed, put them on the Guns just to have them hold them until FTR came back. And now you're not doing anything with either one of those teams,
Yep.
really, in the tag division. So I thought the Guns brought up some good points. I'm not a fan. I'm still not. I don't know if I want the Hardys going after FTR. I have a feeling that's where they're going.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. But and also, what are we doing with Matt Hardy? Is he back to being broken because he's doing the delete gimmick now? They just had the firm deletion match.
Yeah.
Vanguard 1 was there. I don't know. Like, what are we doing? Like, either make that part of your gimmick and go all the way in, or just being extreme with the Hardy Boys and kind
I
of keep
agree.
it out. But I'm all this like, I'm normal, but delete, and
Yeah.
talking with a normal voice, and then all of a sudden you switch into broken Matt Hardy character, and then
Mhm.
they never followed up on the Jeff Hardy come to Jesus meeting, or the come to God, where he
Thankfully.
put the logo set the logo on fire with. I don't know what all that happened after the firm deletion match, but
Thank you, God.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
so
then
weird.
like it pans up and you see the Hardy Boys logo on fire. and they didn't
Mhm.
follow up on that. So like, so were we supposed to just forget that happened? I mean, I'm down for that. I'm completely fine forgetting that whole thing happened. But again, AEW does these things where they create these little moments and then they never follow up
Mhm.
on them. And so I thought maybe we were in store for a character change for Matt or Jeff, and we're not. Doesn't look like we're getting it. It looks like they're just moving on and pretending like it never happened.
Yeah, definitely. And although they brought up Ethan Page again, because obviously
Yeah,
they're gonna wrestle and then Ethan Page get whatever.
he even came out. I think he cut the guns off in their backstage promo or
In
something
the
and
back,
said,
yeah. Well, that's what he told
"Yeah."
them, and
He's like,
then
"Let's be
the
friends
Guns,
again." Yeah.
yeah, and the Guns just decided. I mean, it was nice to see the Guns back. Good for them. By the way, the Acclaim didn't technically get a rematch. Their rematch was like a
It was a triple
four-way,
threat.
so
Yeah,
or
four-way.
yeah, triple threat or whatever. Well, yeah, so technically they didn't even get a rematch. But yes, I know what the Guns are saying. Not only did they not get a rematch, they were like erased off of TV for like 2 months or however
Yeah.
long it
This
was.
was the first time
Got,
we've
like,
seen them, I think,
they
since
got
they lost.
deleted. It
Yeah.
is. So it was really weird, especially after they're like many men, they're like awesome theme, and they did
And then
this hardcore thing. And
they
no,
didn't
they
even
didn't
come
even
out
come
to that.
out to it.
No.
No,
There was no many men, no
no, I
singing to their
guess,
own theme
yeah.
song.
50 Cent
Yeah.
wanted too much money. They could only use that one time. But
Yeah.
I was, I don't know. It is what it is. But the thing about this was that I was more worried at the fact that the Hardys said that they're going to win the titles because it's the only championship they haven't won. And that literally was like, oh gosh, like they're going to win. Like if they're
Yeah.
saying it's
It's
the only
happening.
championship, they have to have it, right? Everybody has every championship, great tag teams. So ugh. So are they going to beat FTR or whatever? They're obviously going to be the Guns, and we'll see where they go from there. They need to get rid of Moaning McGee. He's part of a tag team. What happened to the other
I
guy?
don't
They constantly, and they don't even call him by name. They always say like the contract of party, whatever they're called, and they
house
like
or party, private party.
private party. They talk about
House
them
party.
as a tag team, but it's only Moni McGee. I'm over that dude. That dude needs to get the heck off my screen. And I think the Hardys are going back to just the Hardy Boys. They're not going to be called the Hardy Boys. I think the Hardy Brothers, right? In AEW,
Yeah,
because they
something.
can't be the
Yeah.
Hardy Boys, the Hardy Bros, because
Yeah.
obviously
The Hardy Bros.
trademarks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, I think they're going back to that, and they'll beat the Guns, and we'll see if they beat FTR. Ugh. But we'll see what happens. But I agree with you. The segment was whatevs, but Guns, I do like them. I thought they had good charisma and they were doing their thing
I
this
liked it
week.
when they were
So
feuding with the Acclaimed because there was
mhm,
actual story. Like, will Billy Gunn
mhm,
turn on the
yeah,
Acclaimed and rejoin his son?
mhm,
And now it's just they're just lost. They
yeah,
have no direction. Maybe they'll tear it up on Collision or something. I don't know, but
maybe. And I'm glad they didn't take Billy with them because I think they need to be their own person. So it was
yeah,
nice to
I
see
agree with
Billy
that.
stay with, and Billy works with the Acclaimed. All right, let's move into Dynamite, my man. Dynamite had all sorts of things going on and a lot of things not going on. It was a very like roller coaster ride on Dynamite. There was a lot of positives and a lot of like what's happening and then a lot of blah.
Yeah,
We had TK talk again and he looked like he had never held a microphone in his life. We had a lot of things going on with the pillars. So I want to bring up Chris Jericho versus Roderick Strong. I have crapped all over these type of matches. The everywhere falls count anywhere. I guess in a falls count anywhere you can still have a rope break. I learned that. I didn't know. I thought falls count anywhere was like a no DQ, but Homeboy got a
yeah,
rope break. So either way, I think it usually sucks for fans because they have to watch it. You know, you pay all this money to sit into the arena and then you got to watch it on a screen. But I like what they did. I don't know why. I just watched it, and maybe it's just because Roderick and Chris Jericho are so damn good, but it was a fun match. I thought it was. I always think it's weird when they go in the crowd, like stairs and fight. For one, Taz brought up a great point where he was like, "Oh, there's like beer and people spill things, especially at this point of the night. Like you can slip, get hurt. Fans can do anything they want. There was like
yeah.
no security while they were going up.
No,
And then when they went into like, you know, obviously they have a planned area where they're going to come through, right? So they had it all blocked off, but there was like a couple drunk dudes trying to like get involved, and the security was like barely hand. There was one
yeah,
time where Aubrey had to like knock somebody out of the way. She was like, "Get out of the way." It's just to me as a wrestler, if I was a wrestler, I'd be like, "Dude, I don't want to go. Like, I don't know who these. There could be someone
yeah.
who
You
really hates."
can't
And
trust
Jericho's
these
like
people.
flipping them
Yeah,
off and stuff. Someone could just like do whatever they want, but either way,
you're in
I want to.
Texas too, so
Yeah, oh, yeah, they can just bring guns wherever they want, right?
yeah,
So the thing is that Aubrey did a phenomenal job with the counting, with the pins, with the girl was top notch in this match. And them two, I like the dessert thing with the ice cream. I liked
Mr. Softy or
Mr.
whatever.
Slot. It was awesome stuff. They handled everything well. They sold the hits well. My favorite part is when they went down the stairway and they went into like that one part. And Taz and I think Excalibur, that's his name, right?
Mhm.
They like literally had the same reaction as I did because you didn't see what was going on. And Roderick Strong like put Chris Jericho on the rails, and Taz was like, "No, like what are you doing?" And he like threw him off, and Taz was like, and then he was like, "Oh, there's a thing there. I didn't see that. I didn't see that either." And I thought the same thing. I was like, "Is he literally gonna throw him?" Like, yeah, how are you gonna fake that? Like, it was lit. And then I was like, Taz had like the same. So I loved it that the announcers weren't like in on it. But that part was cool. They like they did like the chest slaps, and it was perfect acoustics. Had the Austin side in the back, the noises were super loud. Then they went back out again and everything else. And then they went outside, and I was like, ugh, why are they going outside? This is gonna be so stupid. And Roderick Strong was like, "Don't hurt me." And I was like, why is a babyface saying don't? There's Adam Cole, baby. He wasn't allowed in the arena, outside of the arena. Awesome stuff. In the like the dirt, got the pin. They got the win. I like that Chris Jericho took the L. And yes, I know how stupid it is that Roderick Strong planned that. Like, how would he know he would lead him outside? But either way, I liked it. I thought the match was an A. Great stuff. Right person won. Roderick Strong needed that. Let's get Adam Cole and Chris Jericho going. I was all for it. I thought that was the match and the most entertaining part of Dynamite. So I was all for it.
I loved it. Yeah, I thought this was yeah, like you said, match of the night for sure. I thought all of this was good. It reminded me a lot of those old school Attitude Era backstage fights, like the Booker T Stone Cold fight in the grocery store, which is still one of my favorite fights of all time. Just, Austin's like, "Clean up on aisle 5," like, and they're fighting. Yeah,
so good.
It reminded me a lot of that. And then I started thinking about like, man, like I would love to just one day go to a wrestling event and, hey, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or hey, I'm gonna go buy a shirt. I'll be right back.
Get a beer or whatever.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's like wrestlers coming out and fighting, and you're part of, and like, what's the etiquette there? Do I be like, hey, buddy, like I'm following this fight? Because that's what the crowd was like. They were following the whole fight. Like they were.
Security was like, there was a couple drunkies trying to
they were moving around. You could see their phones. They were filming it. They were like, I would love to be a part of that one day. But
you're on TV.
I thought all of this was good. I liked, for whatever reason, the fans. I don't know if they were doing it to make Jericho mad, but the reason that he flipped them off was because they were chanting Y2J, which that was like 35 character arcs of Chris Jericho ago. So
he's forever Y2J to me. I just recently stopped calling him Y2J. Like, he's forever Y2J.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's like, like Jim Parsons will always be known as Sheldon Cooper. That's just part of who he is. And the guy Josh Radner will always be known as Ted Mosby because he can't be he's not in anything else.
Did he ever do anything?
No,
they all are successful but him, right?
Yeah. And he was the star of the show. He was the worst character on that show too.
He was 100% awful.
I hate Ted Mosby.
Thank you. And I watch How You Met Your Mother all the time, and I freaking cannot stand Ted. I cannot stand him.
I watch it for Marshall.
Ted Mosby. Sorry.
I watch it for Marshall and Barney and Robin.
Barney's the best. And Robin.
I would watch Robin take a math test. But anyway.
I still do with Marvel. I'll watch her do whatever the hell she wants to do.
Even Lily. But not. Yeah. Like when Ted got stood up at, we're sidetracking. When Ted got stood up at the altar, I was happy for him. I was happy.
Dude, I'm all about How I Met Your Mother. We can do a podcast on How I Met Your Mother if you want. I love How I Met Your Mother. But anyway, continue. We'll do that. 2 dudes with How I Met Your Mothers. 2 dudes with mothers. We'll do it.
TDWM. But no, I thought this whole thing was good. I love that. I liked that they kept saying, Adam Cole's banned from the building. Adam Cole's banned from the building. And never once did I think, even when they went outside, did I think Adam Cole's going to show up.
Nope.
And, I thought that was a nice little surprise. It was a cool little, I'm glad that they followed the story, right? Like that he was banned from the building. So, instead of having him, I bought a ticket, or, I'm dressed up as a fan and like I have a hood on so nobody knows it's me. Like that one time Chris Jericho did that. He was like sitting in the front row the whole time of Dynamite, and like everybody knew it was Jericho. He was like behind a mask or something. everybody knew it was him. I thought that's what they were going to do with like the JAS, but I'm glad that they actually went outside and fought, and then Adam Cole did his thing. And I'm telling you, man, I think that's going to be the match of the night: Adam Cole and Chris Jericho
Oh, heck yeah.
at Double or Nothing. The story that they told, the hatred between those two, just everything. I think that's going to be a fun match to watch. And I thought this was a great way to build to it. And I thought Roderick Strong looked really good in his first match back too. His
Yeah,
first singles match.
as long as Adam Cole wins, we're all good.
Yeah, we need an Adam Cole win, and I'm actually surprised Jericho took a clean-ish loss on TV. But yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a good way to, good match on Dynamite, on a very busy Dynamite.
Yeah.
For me, I want to talk about Tony Khan and his announcement.
Yeah.
And I think I was disappointed in his announcement. I'm not going to lie, because earlier in the day when we talked about this on WWE Wednesday, we had the breaking news of AEW Collision being announced for June the 17th. That's when the first episode airs. It's going to be on Saturdays at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. AEW is getting a new show. It's going to be 2 hours long. They talked about, in the press release, they mentioned Miro, that Miro's coming to Collision. Andrade, who's been off of TV since, I don't even know where he's been, since the Ric Flair retirement match. Yeah. He's going to be on Collision. Thunder Rosa is going to be on Collision. They named a bunch of wrestlers. As of this morning, there was a story that Bryan Danielson's going to be like part of the creative team for AEW Collision. So there's all kinds of intrigue going on. And there was one notable name missing, and the name that we've all been talking over the last few months, and that was CM Punk. And the rumors going around were that CM Punk was going to be the star of Collision. They were going to put center Collision all around CM Punk. And for whatever reason, he was never mentioned at the upfronts on Wednesday. He was never mentioned in any sort of press release or news release that came out about Collision. And then as the day went on, when we were talking about Tony Khan's announcement, we were gearing up for it. There more and more news kept coming out. And there was one story that that CM Punk wanted Ace Steel to be rehired by AEW. And that's the only thing that he wanted. He wanted Ace Steel to come back. And apparently Tony Khan agreed to it, but he can't be in the building. So he can work remotely. You guys, we'll pay him. You can FaceTime him after your matches, and he can give you some coaching and stuff that way. And Punk didn't agree to that. And that's what held everything up. That's when Warner Brothers Discovery said, okay, we're going to scrub CM Punk from any advertising. We're going to remove him from any sort of mentions of him on Collision, anything from the press release, everything. We're going to just take his name off. So, in the announcement on Dynamite, I kind of felt bad for Tony Khan, because I feel like that was going to be the announcement, was that CM Punk was going to be, he's coming back at AEW Collision on Saturday, June the 17th. And that event's going to be in Chicago, Illinois for the very first one. It's going to be live. It's going to be crazy. And we will have more information going. I really thought that was going to be the announcement. I think we all thought that was going to be the announcement, only for Tony Khan to come out and basically say, I don't know. None of us know where the first episode of Collision is going to air or where it's going to be from. But we know that episode 2 of Collision will be in Canada, and episode 3 will be in Canada. Episode 4 will be in Canada. So we'll be part of our Canadian tour. And then we return to the US when we go to the Prudential Center in New Jersey. And then that was it. That was his announcement. And then he said that he'll announce the location next week of the first episode of Collision, which the rumor's always been that it's going to be in Chicago. And I think maybe he did this to buy some more time so that he can continue negotiating with Punk about this whole Ace Steel thing. But I think I'm at this point, I'm done with CM Punk. Like, I like the guy, but Punk apparently went on another Instagram tirade where he ripped all the media, the wrestling media. He attacked Brian Alvarez, basically saying that all he does is report lies and untruths and spreads rumors and gossip that aren't verified. Brian Alvarez retorted and said that, what have I said that's not true? Name one thing I've said that's not true about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Punk even like went on Instagram video and basically ripping on fans and telling them to go touch grass, and
Yeah.
saying that, your fans that you have this parasocial, obsession with professional wrestling. You guys don't know me. You don't know any of the wrestlers. You don't know anybody else. So get a
Mm-hmm.
life, essentially. And then it was weird. All of it was weird. And at this point, I think Tony Khan just needs, AEW's been fine without CM Punk since WrestleMania. And this is going to sound like a hot take, but since the Raw after WrestleMania all the way till now, I'm willing to say that AEW's been better than the WWE. It's been one of the better wrestling products on TV, and they've been clicking on all cylinders the last few, especially the last couple of Dynamites. They've been really great. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't need CM Punk, and so I think it's at this point, Punk is holding everything up. Every time we think they're close to a reconciliation, something happens that he doesn't get his way. He gets upset, and he holds. I feel like he kind of ruined what was supposed to be a big day for Tony Khan, and Tony Khan had to like create an announcement that was a disappointment. So it was the typical Tony Khan announcement where he looked stiff, he looked uncomfortable, and he didn't really say anything. But I'm willing to give him a pass on this one because I think the announcement was supposed to be bigger than what it actually was.
So you're saying CM Punk ruined press conference / announcement again?
Yeah. Yep. 2 in a
I
row.
mean, yeah. I mean, since WrestleMania, that is a hot take. I still think WWE is better than AEW, but AEW has been pumping on all cylinders.
Yeah.
But I still want to wonder, why the heck is AJ Lee with CM Punk? She's got to love him a lot because this dude is freaking insane. And AJ Lee seems like a really good person unless she's fake. But obviously we don't know wrestlers. Yeah, I don't know celebrities either, but I still idolize them or look up to them. Just like maybe there's people on TikTok who look up to us or sit. I don't see what there's anything wrong with that. So CM Punk going on a tirade dogging fans, like you
Yeah.
in any celebrity profession, you need fans. That's how you function and live. That's how you make money. So the fact that he's shitting on them I don't know what's going on with CM Punk. We're both big CM Punk fans, but I agree with you. I think it's time to move on. I said before that I don't think he's going to help Wembley at all. I don't think he's that person. I don't think he was ever that person. That's why he's one of the few champions to not headline WrestleManias and so on. I just think he's never been that guy. He's a fun little underground hardcore fan person that people like, yes, but casual fans have never adapted to him as well as he's hoping. He's never been The Rock. He's never been Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Hogan. He's never been Triple H. And Triple H was right. Triple H was saying this about him forever, that this was the person he is. I have no idea. Who cares about Ace still? And why are you so like, just come back? I just think he lives in a world, and he said that at the press conference, where he lives in a world where it's not reality. He looks in the mirror and sees something else. And he looks in the mirror and sees John Cena. And that's not who he is. And he explained that in the thing when he was talking about, I've been carrying this company on my back and I got us the biggest this and that. And I get treated by the VPs disrespectfully and this, bro. Yeah. AEW has been so much better without you. Every time you've had a match, you've gotten injured. Your promos have been weak as crap in AEW. You really have not been the CM Punk that you were in WWE, or maybe you were just never that guy. But either way, I agree with you. I felt bad for Tony Khan as well because that announcement was garbage. He literally just announced what I had told you beforehand that we had. It was literally the same, like he just read it off the newspaper. Like he was like this, that, this, and that. It was like he didn't even say like anything about it. Who's on it? Is it gonna be this? Or there was no like we're gonna split brands. Like he literally said nothing. I get they can't announce a streaming or whatever. Maybe they don't have that, but he could at least talked about other than the fact that they literally took WCW's logo and just redid it with them on it, because it's the same Monday night. If you haven't seen it, look online. Yeah. It's like 100% the same logo, but it does say TNT, which makes me believe maybe they won't have them on streaming. Maybe they'll do like a WWE streaming where they're still on TV, but they have their streaming service and pay-per-views. We'll see. But either way, confusing, weird. AEW, move on from CM Punk. You got big names. You don't move on. Move on. If he doesn't want to play, then move on. Let him go.
You're giving him chance after chance after chance.
And TK's so soft, man. Like, dude, get a pair of cojones. Like, you're a billionaire. Move on. Move on, bro.
It's time.
Move on.
It's time.
Move on. So. And I want to talk about the big thing that's going on at Double or Nothing. And that is this pillars match. And we have discussed this on how they were going to do the build because they had so much time. And
Yeah.
last week, I thought they did great. They had vignettes of every single person. They talked about their history, who they were, and so on. And this week, they just flushed it down the toilet. We had random match after random match. They were like, we need all the pillars on. So let's have Sammy Guevara on. He'll have a squash match for 10 seconds against a nobody. What should Darby Allin do? Oh, he'll wrestle with Orange Cassidy in a random tag team match and win. And then Jungle Boy, we'll have him wrestle Roosh and get his butt kicked the entire match and barely squeak out a win, and then get beat up afterwards, looking super weak and soft before he has his title match. The weirdest, and MJF, we'll have him in a backstage promo where he says nothing and he slaps a mic out of Renee Paquette's hand. It was the dumbest. Everything about this thing was weak. And for one, I have to say on record again, I cannot stand Roosh. Get him off my TV. He doesn't sell ever. I don't understand why he is somebody who is unbeatable. Like every move Jungle Boy did, he doesn't ever sell. Like that's his gimmick, that he's like that hardcore and that tough that he doesn't. I don't care who Roosh is. Get him off my screen, please, AEW. Don't ever put him in ROH or get him off my screen. He's not even that good, and he doesn't sell. And I don't know why they would make Jungle Boy look weak before the match. I know he has another week to recover, but he looked super weak, especially when you have Sammy Guevara like squash somebody. Like Sammy looked the strongest out of the three. He just had went out there and did his thing. And I didn't like that they're all best friends. Like don't all start hugging and kumbayaing before. That's like my least favorite. You guys are gonna wrestle. Stop being friends. Pretend like you hate each other, that you want to go at each other.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yes. I would think MJF would be excited that they're all friends. That's an advantage for him because what are they going to do? You know what I mean? I'll just beat him up and then he's gone. Like, no, you'll come back in and they're going to have to wrestle eventually. So I did not like this week at the Four Pillars. It did not get me excited about the main event. Actually, every other match they announced, I'm way more excited about. The Outcast shined. Hater against Tony Storm, I'm excited. Warlow against Christian Cage in a ladder match, I'm excited. Yeah. Where you'll talk about another match that was announced at the end of the night. Like, I'm way more excited about almost everything on that card, minus this main event. That really took me out of it. And I was really bummed out because they could have done so much with it and they didn't.
Yeah, this is like the match I'm most excited about, but I'm not excited about it at the same time. Like when they first started this whole thing a few months ago, we were all in on this. We were both like, this is going to be great. This is exactly what we want. MJF against the three other pillars, making it a Four Pillars match. And now, Darby Allin randomly pairing with Orange Cassidy, and that's not a knock on Orange Cassidy. It's just even the commentators were confused by the pairing. It was just they even said, "Have they ever worked together?" And they were like at a house show, and in a House Rules house show, in December or something. Yep. It's just like, really, like they've never worked together on TV. Ever, so why are you? I don't know. And it was just weird. I felt bad for Orange Cassidy because I'm glad Darby Allin got the win. I'm glad he got the pin. But I feel like Darby Allin kind of stole his shine a little bit. And, but it was just a random pairing. And then Jungle Boy, like you said, he got his ass kicked in that match. And then afterwards in the post-match beatdown, he's getting his ass kicked, and Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin come to the rescue, and they all get offense in on Roosh and this other guy. They all Darby Allin hits his move, and then Sammy Guevara does the GTH or his little, or they both hit super kicks on him, or it was something like that. And then Jungle Boy doesn't do anything. He's just standing there.
Yep. And watching.
So he's taking the pinfall in this match. I just have this feeling that Jungle Boy is taking the pin.
Sammy, I think it's going to be Jungle Boy. Yeah.
And they haven't done this was not a good week to build them all up. And as Sammy Guevara, like, I'm confused about his direction too, because is he a heel? Is he a baby face? Like, what is, because I know he got a pop, but I know it was because he was in Texas, but he still seemed to be still seemed to be feeding into the crowd cheering him. And normally when you're a heel and the crowd cheers you tell them to shut up, or man, I'm glad I left this awful state of Texas because I'm on. But no, he seemed to
not
be
in AEW.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Remember MJF? Yeah.
Friedman, Maxwell Jacob. He just, But no, it's just, this was bad. And then MJF not saying anything, not doing anything, not even like he didn't even come out to the ring to, like, when they were all staring each other down. he could have come to the ring and stared him down,
Mhm.
or they all could have done the little title discount double check sign or something that that they're coming for his belt. But no, they didn't do anything. It was just
Mhm.
I don't know. I get Tony Khan was busy with all the stuff going on earlier in the day with the
Yeah.
TNT upfronts and the announcement about Collision and dealing with CM Punk and his antics. But yeah, this this whole thing just didn't seem focused. It all felt random, and it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. And they have one more week. They have one more week to get us excited about this, and
Mhm.
I'm not feeling it.
I
I don't
agree.
know what they're going to do next week.
That no idea.
So, speaking of matches that we're excited about, though, I want to talk about the your boy Don Callis, the biggest, who you could say might be top 3 biggest heels in all of wrestling right now, because that man, he came out to explain why he betrayed Kenny Omega at the end of last week's Dynamite and stuck the screwdriver in his eye.
Mhm.
He came out to some massive heel heat. There was not one person booing or cheering that man.
No.
He got the Dom Mysterio, who's your boy. He got that heel heat. He got the Christian Cage heel heat.
Mhm.
Um, MJF gets cheered. Roman Reigns gets cheered. The
Mhm.
Miz gets cheered. All these heels get cheered sometimes, but there was nobody cheering for Don Callis. And I don't know, maybe they piped it in. I don't think they did. I don't think
Nah.
AEW does that. I think that was all legit. So that was pretty cool to see. Like he could barely talk without
Mhm.
them booing. And I always like that. We love it when Dom does it. And but Don Callis basically flipped the script and said that we shouldn't be talking about why I attacked Kenny Omega. We should be talking about what Kenny Omega did to me. And then the BCC interrupted. Or Kenny Omega
Kenny Omega interrupted with
Yeah, Kenny Omega
Kevin White.
interrupted, and he took out all those security guards.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's another thing. Don Callis came out with a wall of security people
Uh-huh.
as he walked to the ring, and I was like, okay, I know where this is going. And then Kenny Omega came out and started taking out all those security people. And then the Young Bucks came out with a bunch of trash cans, and I never realized in their entrance video it says Super Kick Party, but we got to see that a lot because
That's all
we
they
saw
do.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them on their stage. But they came out with a bunch of trash cans and a bunch of weapons, and um, then they took the fight. They went into the ring, and then out came the BCC, and they start fighting, and
Mhm.
it was all good stuff. It was really good. And then the commentators kept saying sometimes AEW, I feel like they telegraph stuff
Mhm.
they kept saying, well, they're outnumbered. It's 4-on-3.
Yep.
It's Brian Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley, and Claudio, and it's only the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And what's gonna happen? And then all of a sudden, Hangman Page's song happens to hit at just the right time, right after Excalibur's questioning that whole thing. And then he comes out with an eye patch on, and
Yeah.
it was.
Stupid.
I did laugh when
A leather
like
eye patch, by the
yeah,
way.
a leather eye patch.
He's
Yeah,
got to be
which
cowboy shit. Yeah.
and I did laugh when like Kenny Omega like tossed him a weapon and it was a broom with barbed wire around it. And then he charged the ring like,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah. This is Sparta. Yeah.
like
Or
Braveheart or
Braveheart.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, they won't take our freedom. Yeah, and like you got a broom with barbed wire on it, man. Like, what is this? And then they didn't
Oh
even use
man.
it. And then
No, of
because the
course not.
BCC retreated,
Yeah.
and then Hangman Page cut a promo and basically said that we are the elite and we challenge you. We are the heart and soul of this place. We are the heart and soul of AEW, which I feel like I don't know if that's a shot at the Pillars, who have been
Yeah.
saying that they're the heart and soul of the company the last few months, but we're the heart and soul of this place. We are the elite. And
Mhm.
then they challenged them to an Anarchy in the Arena match at Double or Nothing. And John Moxley did not like that. He was very upset. The rest of the
He
BCC
was.
looked very perplexed and confused and like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Hangman Page is back. But Moxley looked really mad that they're gonna have this Anarchy in the Arena match. And yeah, and then like what happened to Don Callis? He just vanished. I don't know where he went, but
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, he
yeah, I thought it was a solid way to end Dynamite. I thought it was a cool.
Mhm.
I'm digging what they're doing with the BCC. If you're not going to have the elite in the tag title picture, which I don't think they should be, and you're not going to have them in the trios title picture, which I don't think they should be, I think this is a perfect spot for them. You're not going to have Kenny Omega in the world title picture
Mhm.
yet, right now. maybe he'll come back to it eventually, but I think this is the perfect spot for them. I think this match is going to be great. I'm not kind of confused as to what an Anarchy in the Arena match is, but I know they've had one before. I think Eddie Kingston was in it, but yeah, I'm excited for it. I think
anywhere.
they've probably basically Chris Jericho and Roderick Strong just did on TV, just anywhere in the arena you can fight. But yeah, I'm digging this. I thought it was a solid way to end Dynamite. Hangman Page is back, and it's going to be a 8-man tag at Double or Nothing. And again, a solid way to build, unlike the Pillars match, which didn't build them at all.
No, I agree. And this match I'm most looking forward to. The BCC is like take a line from Zoolander. They're so hot right now, but they're just like doing their thing. They look good. It looks like they're going to take an L. But either way, the Elite, doing their thing. I like Hangman Page back with them. I mean, he's always been floating around, being a part of the Dark Order and whatever else.
Yeah,
he's
for whatever
had
reason.
A home. Him and his leather patch. Callis did get a lot of heat, but I thought it was weird. I just thought the whole thing was about how Callis was going to tell us why, and he didn't really explain, and then he just disappeared. Is he with BCC? What's happening? I don't know. A lot of unanswered questions, but
that's the story.
That's the story.
Why is it called Puzzles? That's the puzzle.
That's the puzzle. Oh yes, How I Met Your Mother. I have a puzzle shirt actually. I love that show. But anyway, so it was. I don't know. It was a good way to end. I liked it. Strong close, good build. The broom thing was stupid too, and the broom barbed wire. I always wonder if the barbed wire is like real or not. It wrapped around the handle a little bit, and Hangman Page grabbed it by the barbed wire when he charged. So I don't think it was real barbed wire, because why would he grab the barbed wire? A broom? You could have a bat or like, and why a broom? Because it was like a guard, because it was like the custodial cart that they pushed out. Because trash cans.
Where do they get I don't understand where they brought these trash cans out, and so there's a broom with barbed wire just thrown away backstage, and you're like, oh, this will be good. Or did you wrap the barbed wire around it? Did the custodian staff do it? What? I don't know what's going on back there, but yeah, it was. But the way he charged the ring was like, so stupid. Just like, this is so stupid.
With his leather eye patch and his why do you have an eye patch? The eye injury was so long. It's so stupid. Anyway, it was what it was.
And Kenny Omega didn't have one, and he got stabbed. He got in the eye last week.
Everybody else does too, but just hey, maybe he bought that leather eye patch a while ago and wanted his money out of it. I don't know. It was dumb, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the match nonetheless, and it was a good way to close out a half decent Dynamite. Like I said, it was like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was ups and downs.
Yes, but let's now move on to our segment, my man. And this week we are going to do Would You Rather. And this is where me and Shooting Star Press will give each other things of what would you rather do, AEW related. I think we have enough time to do 2 each. So, Shooting Star, my man, as always, the handsome one starts. What are you going to give? And we have no idea what we're going to say. We never planned this, so hopefully we don't have the same ones. Let's see.
All right.
Got to be surprised.
I think I'm going to know the answer to this one, but I'm going to make this first one easier.
Dom, yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Would you rather have Drew McIntyre sign with AEW and be put into the main event world title picture? Or would you rather see Goldberg sign with AEW and have a retirement match or a retirement tour in All Elite Wrestling?
You know what? I think you're going to be surprised by my answer. I'm going to go, I'd rather have Goldberg.
What? Really?
And here's why. For one, I don't think Drew will fit in AEW. I truly think wrestlers are meant for certain organizations. Like, I don't think The Miz would ever work in AEW. Like, I think Moxley didn't thrive in WWE because he was an AEW type guy. I always thought Cody didn't work in AEW, even though he created it because he's a WWE. Yeah. I think Drew's a WWE guy. I think he would get lost in AEW. And so I'm going to go Goldberg. And here's why. Because AEW has always kind of like taken shots and crapped on WWE, especially the fans, for doing things like Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Goldberg. So I would get a kick out of seeing Goldberg come to AEW and do his thing and have a farewell tour, just so we can be like, take that. And I'm all for a Goldberg versus Sting match. Let's do it one more time, like back in the days. I'd be kind of for it. I think Goldberg coming in and wrestling some people, but here's the only bad part about it is that Goldberg doesn't lose. So I don't want him beating people. I mean, I'd like to see Goldberg and Jericho again. They have tons of beef, or they never wrestled, right? It was supposed to happen in WCW. I'd like to see that come back into story, that Bischoff didn't think they were ready, or Goldberg didn't want it because Jericho wanted a 25-minute match, but Goldberg could only have a 1-minute match. I think he's like me in the bed, but I think it's like a really, that's what they called me, Goldberg. I was always wondering. But yeah, so yeah. And every time I do it, that Steams comes out and people chant my name.
Walk through your pyro.
I do.
Knock,
Before I go
knock
to
on
town.
your door.
Yep. And then I just 1 minute in and
You're
I'm
done.
I'm done. But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna say Goldberg because I don't want Drew anywhere near AEW. So that's just
yes. Me. See, I want in an ideal world, if they have to move on from CM Punk, which I don't know if Tony Khan has the cojones to do so, but if they do, I think Drew McIntyre would be a huge get for AEW, and he could be the face. He could be the face of Collision, and he could be the guy to, really elevate AEW and help take them to the next level. And he can reinvent himself. I feel like he's gone as far as he can in WWE. Like I don't know, he didn't dethrone Roman. He's not in the World Heavyweight Championship picture at the moment. I think because I know he's out with an injury. He could always come back and go after that title, but he wrestled for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Not that there's anything wrong with that. He did have a great match. It was probably one of the best matches at the card. But yeah, I think he's gonna. He never got his World Championship in front of fans. He never got it in front of a crowd. He got the big pop of the night when he eliminated Brock from the Royal Rumble, which I thought was one of the biggest moments ever. And then he, of course, COVID happened and he didn't get his. He was the Thunderdome guy, and I feel like that kind of lost a lot of his luster and he lost a lot of his steam because of that. And it's not his fault, but I do think he's gone as far as he can in WWE. And I would love to, and apparently they're pretty far apart, if the reports are to be believed, on contract negotiations. And they apparently removed him from all the advertisements for Money in the Bank, which takes place in London, which is where Clash of the Castle was, where he got that huge pop last year. So I would love to see Drew McIntyre in AEW. I think he could come in and be a heel. I think he could be a babyface. He could go against MJF. He could go against Wardlow. He could go against Christian Cage. He could go against Hobbs. He could go against Shaw. He could go against
Vin Diesel. Yeah, no, he could do his thing.
Toretto. But I think he would have some great matches. Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Keith Lee. I mean, just in all these, Chris Jericho. So yeah, I think he could do well in AEW. He did well in Impact. I think that's how WWE started taking him seriously and realized that this guy's more than 3MB. Is when during his time in TNA or Impact, and when he was Drew Galloway and he was killing it there, and then he killed it in NXT. So yes, he did. I think he would be a huge get, especially if they do move on from CM Punk. But I think that's an ideal situation. I don't know if that's actually going to happen.
All right. I feel you. Convince me. All right. You ready for mine?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Double or nothing. Let's just say MJF is losing. Would you rather have Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, or Darby Allin get the championship?
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna say this. I'd rather have Darby Allin as the champion.
Oh, all right.
I'm not the biggest Darby guy, but I think his character, this guy, he has beaten the likes of Wardlow. He's beaten Samoa Joe. He's beaten some of the bigger guys in AEW. He's had great matches with MJF. He's he can go with anybody, it feels like. And those matches that he had with Samoa Joe, guys like twice his size, it was a great match, even though he won the TNT title, then he lost the TNT title, then he won it. I think of the other of him, Jungle Boy, and Sammy Guevara. I think he's probably the most ready. He's the most seasoned of all of them. He can go on the mic. I think his character could be a good babyface. It is a great babyface. Fans seem to love him, but I think he could be a great heel too, especially if he wins the world title and then turns on Sting or something, and you don't have Sting going after the belt, but maybe you just show that I never needed you. Where have you been the last 3 months during this whole thing? And it turns out you were the one holding me back. And he beats up Sting, and he's a big heel. And yeah, I think Darby Allin is probably the most ready of the other three pillars to take the world title.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna go Sammy Guevara. And only because I think he's the most fun wrestler.
Yeah,
I think he has the look, obviously. He's a good looking cat. And I think he's better on the mic than the other two as well.
that's
So
true. Yeah,
and he had the TNT title for a really good run when he was doing, what was it, him and Cody, right? Weren't they going back and forth?
yeah, they went back and
Yeah,
forth.
because
Yeah,
they had that one phenomenal cutter from the top of the ladder or whatever in one of the matches that I was like, dude, they both could have died during that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Sammy Guevara. I've always been a Sammy Guevara fan. I know he's had his things and supposedly was like harassing women or whatever else. Now he's married, so maybe he's moved on from that. But I do like him. So yeah, I would go if I'm picking anyone, Sammy Guevara. I don't think Jungle Boy's ready yet. And I don't know. Like I don't get Darby. So I'm not saying I hate him. I saw he had a neck tattoo and I read it and I was like, that's the dumbest quote that you
yeah,
just put on your body. Everything about him, I don't know. And I guess him with Sting as a champion and Sting helping him could work, but I'll go Sammy Guevara. That's who I
yeah.
would choose if
That's
MJF's
who I
gonna
was.
drop it.
That's who I was torn between. Was I don't think Jungle Boy's ready,
No.
but I was torn between Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin. But I think just of the matches that they've had, I think Darby's the wrestling wise. I think he's the most ready. Character wise, maybe he can
Yeah.
tweak it a little bit and go heel and
Yeah.
turn on Sting and all that. But
That would
yeah,
work. Yeah.
I'd
All
like that.
right. All right. You got another?
Yeah, I got one more.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Would you rather Britt Baker turn on Jamie Hayter and join the Outcasts, or would you rather Jamie Hayter turn on Britt Baker and
Hmm.
and bring the women's title over to the Outcasts?
Ooh, that's pretty good. I didn't think about that. Well, for one, I'd rather have Britt Baker turn on Adam Cole and join me. But if
Yeah.
that's not going to happen, let me
Hi-oh! Yeah.
say, God, I love Britt
And
Baker.
that kids is How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I love it. I wish. Dang, Britt Baker. You know what? I like the hater thing. I like that because that's a shock. And I feel like if one of them was to happen, that would be the one that would happen. But I'm still going to go with Britt just because I always wanted that like NWO Hulk Hogan. I wanted her as a third person. I'm still for that. I think it'd be cool to have outcasts who are not AEW originals with a AEW original like being the leader. I don't know if that would work because Soraya is kind of the leader, but I like that. I would say Britt Baker. I think she can help the Outcasts a lot, and the Outcasts are freaking phenomenal. Once again, how they should be booking Judgment Day. They win all. They don't lose. They
Yeah.
walk the walk and they talk the talk and they do it all. Outcasts are probably the best. Oh man, I don't know. AEW is killing it with factions right now because they're doing it right. They're winning. BCC is winning. Outcasts are winning.
House
Like
of
this is
Black.
what
Yeah.
House of Black. They're like these factions are winning. So yeah, I'm gonna go Britt
The Hardy
Baker.
Boys and the Private Party.
Yeah, God. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna go Britt. Even though I think they would do Hater instead of, but I think Britt would be fun, and I think the AEW crowd would die if Britt Baker betrayed AEW because she, in my opinion, is a pillar. So
Yeah, I agree. She is a pillar, but I think they're gonna. I think I'd rather have Jamie Hayter, and the only reason why is because of Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole's a babyface, so they want to. I feel like they want to keep Britt Baker as a babyface, especially if they're going to have them on screen together. They're going to have
mhm,
them, like they did a few weeks ago when they had that segment with Jericho and Soraya beating the heck out of Britt Baker. Well,
mhm.
they're going to have them interacting on screen and telling everybody that they're a couple. You can't have one as a heel and the other as a babyface. So
True.
I do think Adam Cole is destined to be the biggest babyface in AEW, and I think as a result, they got to keep Britt Baker as a babyface. And what a way to do that than by having Jamie Hayter, who's still kind of playing second fiddle as the
Mhm.
women's champion to Britt Baker, and all her drama with the Outcast by joining the Outcast and beating up Britt Baker. So,
Yeah.
and apparently she's injured, and that's why they didn't have their trios match at Dynamite, but she's still getting a
Yeah.
one-on-one match. So I could see AEW not making them fight, and instead, they stare each other down, Hayter and Storm, and then they turn around, and that's when they beat up Britt Baker. And
Mm.
she spray paints the L on her and stuff. So I think it would be good
Ooh, you
stuff.
think it's going to happen double nothing? And I think that would be good too, because when they did the pairing, everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be obviously, Britt Baker to turn." So I think it would be good, and I think Hayter would be a phenomenal heel. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
I
it.
don't think people would see it coming.
No, I don't think so. Well, now they will. All right, my last one. You ready?
Yes, let's
All
do
right,
it.
titles in AEW go around and around and around and around. They get passed around, like Jennifer Lawrence at a Hollywood party. So here's, I wish I was there.
Like Barney Stinson. There you go.
Oh God, Barney's the greatest character ever. So who do you think out of the people who don't lose their titles like they're going out of style should drop their belt first? Orange Cassidy or Jade Cargill? Who should drop their belt first?
Orange
Would you
Cassidy.
rather? Who would you rather? Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy? All
Orange.
right.
Yeah. And I want to talk about him real quick. What are they doing with him at he's in a blackjack battle royal against 20 other people. So he makes 21, so that's blackjack and it's in Vegas. So ha ha ha. Ha. But
Yeah.
like does that count as like if he wins, does that count as 20 different reigns? Does that count as like he's defended now because they said he's
Yeah.
defended the title 20 times already.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean he's defended it now 41 times because I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Orange Cassidy is Jade Cargill, I think they should both hold the titles for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Jade Cargill, I think she's going to hold it until she gets to 100-0,
Mm-hmm.
and she never defends her title. I think she's still stuck at like 56-0. I think she has 44
Well,
more.
she fights on Rampage now.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah, and
Fight
apparently,
tonight.
yeah, tonight she has an open challenge on Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm going to say Orange Cassidy. I want to see Jade Cargill have some more serious opponents. I'm tired of the
Yes.
jobbers, and I thought after her match with Valkyrie, she would have some more longer matches with more serious wrestlers, and then she went right back to beating up just regular random people. But Orange Cassidy, man, I mean, he's wrestling week in and week out. He's opening Dynamite every week. He's wrestling House of Black. He's gone against, he teamed with Darby Allin this week. He's going against some of the top guys, and I think it's inevitable that he's going to lose that title at some point. So I think I'd rather see him lose it because I don't think it would hurt him to lose it, but I think it would really hurt Jade Cargill and stall any momentum you have with her if she drops it right now or drops it anytime soon before she gets to 100-0.
I agree with everything you said, 100%. I think she needs to go to 100 and maybe more, beat the Goldberg record. I think she needs, but I do think she needs to start wrestling some competition. I mean,
yeah, 100%.
She's doing a call out, an open challenge, and it's going to be Nobody McGee from whatever state they're in, insert here, and she'll come Texas, and it'll be some like cowgirl who will get her butt kicked in 10 seconds. But yeah, I don't want Orange Cassidy to lose it, but I think whoever's gonna lose, I think they'll both have it all year until 2024. But I think Orange Cassidy, and that dude, you gotta love him, right? He's like, yeah, I'll put up my belt in a battle royal. Like, who puts their title up in a battle royal? Like that's like anybody could like.
Yeah,
like, that's like you could just like not be paying attention and get thrown over the rope, and now you're not champ anymore.
And they didn't even tell us who's in the thing, so we don't.
Well, Renee Paquette's not, so too bad.
Yeah, we know she won't be in it.
Yeah, that'd have been fun. But Orange Cassidy's so funny. Like, do you want to be in it, Renee? No, I need a chair. So somebody get him a chair. He's like last week he got interviewed and he was like, I don't know, Renee, I'm tired.
Yeah, he's
just wrestled. He's hilarious.
Him and like Kevin Owens they're like just national. Yeah, they're great at just some of that off the cuff stuff that they do. One thing too with Orange Cassidy, not to get sidetracked, but I never noticed, but on this episode when he came out, I've never noticed the one firework that goes off during his entrance. Have you seen that? He has pyro.
He's from whatever and weighs whatever, so they do.
So there's like one little firework. Maybe
I've never noticed.
This was the first time I noticed it. Maybe this was the first time they've done it, but like he was coming out, and he didn't even make a big deal about it. But it was just like you saw just one little firework.
That's hilarious.
I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy is the best. I mean, I've always said it. I wanted him to have that title, and I'm so glad he's had it. And he's made this fan proud. The dude is money.
Yeah, he is. He's making it relevant, and you don't have to play hot potato with your championships. AEW.
Nope.
So.
Nope. But there it is. That's our AEW week in review. And next week we got a big one because we're gonna do our predictions, and we got Double or Nothing coming. So I'm assuming Dynamite and Rampage will feel important. Rampage is on at probably right now. It's getting delayed, and so cat. Sorry, my cat just bit me. Stop playing with me. like friendly bite, not like aggressive. But anyway, but yeah. So as always, I'm Mr. MWO. Tune in, keep subscribing, tell your friends, keep viewing. We love you guys' support. We're trying to make this thing huge. Let's go. And as with me, as always, is the honorary dude, Mr. Shooting Star Press.
Yes, sir. And like he said, we got some big stuff coming up. We got episode 50 right around the corner. We have predictions next week for Double or Nothing. Not just Double or Nothing, but
and WWE, right? Both,
yeah,
right?
Night of Champions and Battleground. So
a busy weekend.
It's going to be a busy weekend. And we may do some watch alongs. We may do some fun stuff. So just tune in, follow us on TikTok. Our ads are right there. And then hit us up on Spotify, Apple, everywhere you get your podcasts. And yeah, we appreciate everyone's support. We appreciate all the love. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Two dudes, Wolfpack. We out.
Sir. We're out.